So a couple quick ideas for product teams at SaaS companies. And now product teams at SaaS companies are using AI every day. Basically, all of you are building generative AI in some way, shape, or form into your product. But going beyond that, a couple of quick thoughts on how it can help your team above and beyond like the actual integration into the product. So one of those would be knowledge base. So this is taking whatever documentation you have for the product itself and generating a knowledge base on how to use the product. And so it's perpetually falling behind, right? Like meaning notes on how to use a product are a struggle, and documentation of that, it's a struggle for every company. We always struggle to keep our knowledge base exactly up to date. So that's one area, but how do you power that? Well, actually, you can power it via AI release notes. You may ask where that comes from. Well, the data to create AI release notes comes from your project management system. So all of the tasks that get closed can more easily be summarized into release notes, which then can be used to potentially power an AI knowledge base, depending on how much detail there is in here. And of course, there's going to be a certain amount of cleanup, but it helps accelerate the process of building a knowledge base. And not just building a knowledge base, of course, that's also the chat that's layered on top of that to make it easier for users to find stuff. Most help desk and knowledge base software from circa 4 or 5 years ago was horrifically bad on the search side. So to the extent that you can bring an LLM-powered chat to the table, that's really helpful, particularly for smaller companies where you don't have the ability, you wouldn't have historically had that ability. The last item here, so you've got the knowledge base, you've got AI release notes. One more is AI-powered, and this is another area where it's around the edges that doesn't get done as much as it should. So it's AI-powered testing. This is an area of, there's active development by so many vendors. It's getting better. It's still not 100%, but everything from the basic testing of even your public site to actual product level testing, it is a lot easier to generate tests than it used to be even 6 months ago. And the automated cycle of generating the tests, checking them, maybe eventually actually fixing. Of course, there are products that attempt to do that with varying degrees of success, but at a minimum, trying to use this from the testing perspective, because most developers and dev teams are not great at full test coverage. This is a way to work towards achieving that without taking up more of their time and taking that away from the actual development process.